Hey everyone, welcome into our latest TDR Cannabis at 5 presented by Dutchie. I am your host, Shad Dales. Brand new week, so lots to get into as we thought here this morning. We'd give an update on the latest status regarding cannabis rescheduling, developments that could be occurring with the Trump administration posture, what is it, and what the potential nationwide hemp ban could mean for the future of cannabis regulation. I know a lot of you want an update right now. We'll talk about some of the things we could be seeing, we could be hearing, so let's get into our latest TDR Cannabis in 5 presented by Dutchie. But before we do, a quick reminder that this episode is brought to you by Dutchie, the tech backbone of the cannabis industry. Whether you're running a dispensary or scaling operations, Dutchie's platform helps you stay compliant, efficient, and ahead of the curve. Dutchie is powering cannabis commerce from seed to sale. And if you want to learn more or become more effective at operating a dispensary, go to business.dutchie.com. All right, let's get into it. But first, before we do that, let's rewind back to late summer of 2025. That's when the cannabis industry made a coordinated push for federal rescheduling. What I mean by that is lobbyists were active, CEOs were vocal, and then the Wall Street Journal dropped a headline that amplified the urgency, essentially urging the Trump administration to move cannabis out of Schedule 1. So now here's where things get interesting. When we look back, that article wasn't just a polite suggestion, it felt like a public challenge. And while we can't say for certain, it's worth asking, did that move actually irritate the Trump administration? Because shortly after that, the tone from Washington, it seemed to shift. Things have gone quiet, and the messaging, at least according to what we've heard, was something along the lines of, look, we've heard you loud and clear, but we're going to operate under our own timelines. So in other words, the administration may be signaling that they'll move on their own timeline, not the industry's. Again, we're not claiming that's confirmed, it's just from what we've been hearing. So when I bring up all that, what does that then mean? Is the Trump administration playing strategic defense or just asserting control? If I had to guess, cannabis rescheduling is absolutely on their radar right now, but they're not about to let industry pressure or media narratives dictate the pace. That's consistent with how this administration tends to operate: deliberate, independent, and let's face it, often unpredictable. Yeah, you can say that again. Still, the urgency, it hasn't gone away. If anything, it is escalating, and that brings us to the next big development as to what's going on. And what is it? Well, it's the hemp ban. Right now, all eyes are on Capitol Hill. Language tucked into the latest government funding bill could lead to a nationwide ban on intoxicating hemp products like Delta-8, THCA, and similar compounds. So as of this taping, the Senate has already advanced the bill. If the House then follows through and the president signs it, then we're looking at a major regulatory shift. But even if the vote hasn't landed yet, the intent is clear. Federal lawmakers are moving to shut down the gray area that's allowed these products to flourish. So whether the ban is finalized in these next few days or not, the writing is definitely on the wall. The era for unregulated hemp-derived THC may be coming to a close, and that could be the catalyst the Trump administration needs to bring broader cannabis regulation into focus in all this. So let's talk about next steps. One angle that's been on my mind lately has been CBD. It wouldn't surprise me if the Trump administration wants to address CBD before making any moves on full cannabis rescheduling. So that could mean classifying CBD as a nutraceutical, something that can be regulated, dosed, and potentially integrated into healthcare systems. And if that indeed happens, it's not a stretch to imagine CBD becoming eligible for Medicare coverage. We saw that post on Truth Social a while back. And if that does happen, it would be a major shift, not just for the wellness market, but for how cannabis-derived compounds are treated at the federal level. Yes, some direction finally. So this isn't based on any official announcement. It's just a logical step that could help the administration build a regulatory foundation before tackling the bigger cannabis picture. Yes, they're two separate issues, but this could be at play here. So if you factor all that in, where does that leave us right now? Here's the quick summary in all this. One, the cannabis industry, it pushed hard for rescheduling in late summer. Then you had the Wall Street Journal. It amplified that push, possibly triggering a defensive response from the Trump administration. And since then, the tone from Washington has been, we're listening, but we'll move when we're ready. And then meanwhile, you got a nationwide hemp ban that is gaining traction with legislation already advancing through the Senate. And finally, CBD, it could be the first domino to fall. If it is reclassified and integrated into the healthcare system, then as we know, that would be a major shift. So the bottom line in all this, there's a lot of moving parts, but the momentum, let's face it, is definitely real. The pressure from Wall Street, the regulatory chaos in hemp, and the need for clarity, it's all converging, and this topic is only getting louder. Some of you may say, hey, can we get a decision already? The bottom line here is that a few years ago, this was not even a topic of conversation, and right now it's flooding flooding everywhere in Washington. And that really is a good thing. So with that, you're going to want to stay tuned. So whether it's a quiet rollout or a headline-grabbing pivot, something is coming. And when it does, guess what? We're going to be right here to break it all down. So that's it for our latest TDR Cannabis at 5 presented by Dutchie. I'm Shad Dales. Hit that like button. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more straight-shooting cannabis coverage here at TDR. Until then, I'll catch you next time, everyone. Again, I'm Shad Dales, and thanks again for watching.